We're talking to Marcellus Wiley, his podcast, More to It, on the Dan Patrick Podcast Network. And you teased this last week when I talked to you. You said, we talk about a lot of things. You were supposed to be the next Bruce Smith. But you talked about the racism that Bruce faced. I had not heard that before. What made you go in that direction?
Yeah, I mean, Bruce Smith, amazing. Obviously, I think he's the greatest defensive end of all time. He's my football father. So it was a weird introduction, Bruce Smith and I, because I get drafted in the second round to the Buffalo Bills from small school Columbia. And the headlines in Buffalo were the next Bruce Smith. And I'm reading the headline too. I'm like, who are they talking about? Not me. Do y'all know how many sacks this dude gets every year? And it was funny at first, our relationship, it wasn't a standoff relationship, but he made me earn my stripes. He had to see some talent and potential, and I showed him. But I never thought I was going to be the next Bruce Smith. I mean, that's like playing basketball, like I'm going to be the next Michael Jordan. It's like, you might be great, but you might not get to that level. So knowing Bruce and knowing everything he's been through, it was surprising to me doing my research for the podcast that Bruce Smith had experienced racism in Buffalo, because I never experienced anything like that. And for it to be full circle for everything that's happening in Buffalo and what happened with the massacre at the grocery store, Bruce Smith really felt that right in his heart because of his experience while he played. He was getting letters. He was having some experiences to the point where he thought about getting traded. He demanded a trade that didn't go through and try to protect his family in that moment. So it's interesting to see him go through that 30, 40 years ago and still have some evidence of that right now.
What is it like to stand there and somebody's yelling at you and they can say whatever they want to yell at you and there's nothing you can do?
Yeah, man, I'm desensitized to it, and I'm not trying to be tough. I just don't care enough about what someone else says in competition to what I think about myself. So every time someone says something to me that's disparaging, I'm like, that has to battle what I think of myself. And that doesn't mean that they're always wrong. It just means I'm not going to let you get to me. So I always tell people this is what a football game is like. Depends on perspective. If you're on the field, you only hear two things, or boo. But if you're in the stands, you don't hear or boo. You hear that mother, oh, he sucks. Oh, his mama ain't nothing. And it all kind of translates and funnels into just cheers and boos. So when you have someone in your face and they're trying to obviously just undress you, I always have the biggest cheerleaders in my eyes, in my ears, saying, nah, Marcellus, can't let them get to you, bro. You got to be stronger than that.